Namaste, Jay Bharat. In the onwards or ongoing march towards progress and development of any society, nation to that extent, it's important to have few elements, ingredients strongly present. One, the unity among oneself, strength, the strength that comes from unity, which Bharat has. Very strongly, Bharat has, in spite of all kinds of elements and playing of deep state and things like others. So, one thing is unity. The second thing is economic stability, and economic strength. It's not only the case that you should be strong, and it should also be your economic system should be stable. And thirdly, there must be disciplined society. There must be disciplined society with law and order in place. All these things are necessary ingredients to the ongoing forward march of any society, any nation. And another thing which is also very important is that you should have calm neighborhood, cooperative neighborhood, peaceful neighborhood, not disturbed neighborhood where the disturbances reflect upon you. That's going to be very irritating. So Bharat's situation today is that we have got confused neighbors, disturbed neighbors who continuously irritate us in multiple ways possible. Look at Pakistan. How they are to Bharat. What is the situation in Pakistan? There is lawlessness, there is disciplineless, indisciplined people, lawless society, and no one is accountable. No one from Pakistan is accountable to anything. For different aspects, different people come forward with accountability. But as a whole, they are not coherently together. They are not united together. They have a lot of pulls and pushes within themselves and lot of differences, and they can't have one voice. They don't have one voice. There is also separatism within their nation on very strong basis. Balochistan, for example, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa for another example, Kashmir, which they keep under occupation for another reasons. They need all the places for multiple reasons, but then they have nothing in common with Pakistanis, as Pakistanis archetype today what they are. They must have volunteered to become a part, except Balochistan once upon a time, but then their expectation is totally defied by Pakistan. Fine. Now this is the situation in Pakistan, so badly disturbed, so badly disturbed, and that irritates us. And their disturbance manifests in multiple ways and affecting us. It affects. Now Nepal. Nepal is a Hindu nation. It used to be officially Hindu Rashtra, but later, of course, it's a play of their another neighbor China. China has already occupied Tibet. Then they wanted Nepal to play for them. They don't love anyone, as you know. China doesn't love anyone. As Chinese communist regime, so-called communist regime, which they are not really communist, they are using communism for iron rule of dictatorship, and they are using capitalism for making money. Now, this is a kind of Marxism, communism, which they are supposed to follow, which really has nothing to do with Marxism or Marxian humanism or his book on German ideology or his book on whatever. Wonderful books he has written, undoubtedly. So, Nepal is deeply disturbed in spite of the fact that they are Hindus. Deeply disturbed. That reflects upon us, and we feel culturally they are part of Bharat. And the people, Nepal and Bharat, are just one with us. Just one with us. I don't know how to say anything more. I am a student living in Nepal. When my wife visited, actually she went not with me, she went with few of her child friends visiting Nepal. My students took care of her because our credit cards were not functioning there. They said, ma'am, don't worry. They're doing well. Not one student, many students whom I taught. Once upon a time, long back, 40 years before, they were my students, youngsters those days, children, but now they are big people, business people, this thing, that thing, etc. So Nepal is with us, not politically but emotionally, religiously, and of course culturally. And that Nepal is destroyed by China and the disturbances and problems in Nepal. Bhutan, of course, is fine because they are still independent. But then, no, their borders, they'll have problems. Then go down south. Huh. Before that, Bangladesh. Bangladesh used to be making definite progress in time. Even if whatever might be the shortcomings of Sheikh Hasina, she was strengthening her nation. She belonged to her nation. She worked for her nation. There may be a lot of criticism from within. I don't know. There may be the case, but then she's not. She's not irredeemable. She's not irredeemable. She could have made differences, changes with the cooperation of people, but their opposition is blunt. Like our opposition in Bharat is useless and waste, not creative. Opposition should be strong, then only democracy functions nicely. But then opposition should have some kind of creativity and constructive approach. You can criticize when you think something is unethical, wrong, etc. Fine. That's what the function of opposition. Not just oppose anything what the regime does. That's kind of foolish opposition. What we have in Bharat. And of course, many people may be having it, but Bangladesh, that's the situation. They sometimes are in with Jamaat-e-Islami, sometimes with somebody else. So they also made a mistake of not loving Bangladesh, at least for now. If you love the land, then you would not destroy the land for whatever reasons. So Bangladesh is deeply disturbed, no law and order. Whatever problems Pakistan is facing, Bangladesh is facing similar problems, not in that magnitude, but they are facing the same thing or are going to face it in future until something else happens in Bangladesh. I don't know. Some drastic change has to happen. There must be an election, fair elections, not like the election that this Asim Munir did in Pakistan and jailing Imran Khan. Two of a kind. Not that kind of election, some kind of transparent elections if they conduct, then Sheikh Hasina would come back if the election is done in a transparent manner, but I don't know if they can do it. And this man Asim Munir, what's his name? Muhammad Yunus, yeah. Muhammad Yunus is supposed to have be as a caretaker, supposed to have conducted election when things are settled. If there are something to settle, there was nothing. Actually, it is synthetically created. Students' agitation problem, everything. But then that is not going to do. So Bangladesh is deeply disturbed. Now there also China is playing. China wants to become big boss in the world, but which they can't in capital letters. Not because America is strong. China can't do it because no one is going to accept them. Even if they have gunpowder and fire, Pablo Neruda's poetry, it reminds me of Pablo Neruda's poetry. There were only gunpowder and fire, children's blood flowing in children's way. He's talking about this. Moors and ducks benign, the baby shops and duchesses came in airplane. Now I'm getting it. Now I remember. There were only gunpowder and fire. Then he talks about children's blood going in, flowing in children's way. That is going to be the result with China. They don't understand this, of course. There must be some sense. The Russians have great sense of literature. The Russians do a wonderful sense of poetry. The Chinese should be having, but I don't know. The communism must have made them so dry, like wooden log. So China is playing there also. And this Yunus fellow, is trying to sell, possibly, that word is actually exceptionally strong, but that is needed. He's trying to sell Bangladesh to China for his existence and prolonged continued existence in power. That's the case with China, Pakistan, Nepal, China. Then go to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is saved to some extent. They have done fair election and everything, but they were also disturbed, destroyed some time back. They are now gaining, coming up slowly. Then Maldives. Maldives is geographically, actually, whatever strategic positions they may have, area wise, size wise, contribution wise, they are not very significant. And they were playing big, loud mouths like Lahoris. Lahoris have loud mouth. They speak all kinds of things. Uh, so all kinds of things. At once you understand how stupid they are. That's the situation with the Lahoris. So Maldives was doing that. Now they were telling India out campaigns. I don't know how to say how Bharat helped them in whichever manner. Then this is a situation around our neighbors are troubled. Our neighbors are troubled. They have internal disturbances and problems, and that affects us, and that actually retards our leap forward. So Bharat has to really struggle hard if when we want to make development. We have to make development because that is our destiny. Why is it our destiny? You look back in time. What was Bharat once upon a time? Before the Mughals came, before the invaders came to Bharat, how it used to be, how we had our own battles fought. They are dharma yuddhas. No, that's details. I don't want to go into it. What was the standard of Bharat? How economically strong Bharat used to be. How culturally, of course, still culturally we are still very, very strong. How culturally superior. We had about 9 lakhs universities in our nation, where people from all over the world who wants to learn something used to come here, live, stay and go. Many have settled, of course. Many have settled. Things were that free. And nobility is one thing which got embedded into our character in the past. I don't know how many people maintain that now, but then considerably I have seen many people maintaining still the nobility, the ancient Veda Upanishadic nobility based on a knowledge tradition. So Bharat was used to be the Swanakachidi, what people say, used to be a great place for knowledge, for riches, for culture, for everything, and also for religion. The first religion provided to the world. If you call it as religion, for us it's not. For us, they are not religion, they are dharma, because this is an essential difference between the dharmas in Bharat and the religion as we understand elsewhere, because fundamentally the Semitic traditions are God-centered. Bharatiya dharmas are man-centered. The difference is theologically, please go into this little philosophical, but then try to understand it. The difference is really, really different. We live for humans, we don't live for God. You see, God has no role to play in our moksha, which is salvation. It's earned, not granted. This is sufficient for you to understand the status of Bharatiya Dharma as compared to religion as you understand. So Bharat's destiny is to go back, it has to go back, things are cyclical in the world. In the cosmos, I say. Sorry, not world alone, in the cosmos. Look at the Kala Chakra, which is predicted by our scholars in the past. Look at the Yuga concept. Yugas, Pralaya, repetition, Manvantaras, Kalpa, Manvantaras, all those. That's part of the chronology. You can check it up. It's going to be long if I speak about this, I'm not. So, Bharat's destiny has to be great. When you say Vishwaguru, it's a small thing. But Vishwaguru is a normal thing for us. With 9 lakhs of universities where all people from all over the world getting taught into wisdom, there's a difference between information and knowledge. That with that situation, we'll have to repeat in time, because things in cosmos go cyclical. So this has to happen. No one can stop it. Oh, we won't live to see all those things. Obviously, all right. I don't want to live to see it, but it will happen. I will die in that good faith. I have no problem with death, because for us, death is a necessary escape from this existence in human bodies, We believe in Atma. And Atma is not conscious about my identity, what I happen to pick up in this world. I lose my name. I lose my everything. Then Atma, soul, is pure consciousness, which gets back to from where it has come. That is simple logic. It goes back to from where it has come. Nirguna, Nishprapanja, Nirakara, Neiti, Neiti. That's it. That's it. So, Bharat's destiny has to be great. We are all nimittas in Sanskrit, that instruments. We are instruments. We play our role. We play our role with honesty, utter honesty and commitment. And our nation will reach where it has to reach. Because it is destined to reach. So China is yesterday's kid. Whatever jumping they do is because of immaturity. Because they are not evolved. It's because of their immaturity they jump. Pakistan is uncomparable, far flung. They have not even begun the revolution. Actually, what happens is they're going back in time. Not U-turn, just simply returning in time. They've already gone back in time to a great extent. So, all these things, disturbances are done by to our neighbors. So that would give us, actually, that's a big challenge to us, and we'll have to face a challenge. And there's a plus point. This is one plus point. These challenges are expected and supposed to and should make us further strong, further formidable. So we need more courage, we'll gather more courage. We'll need more strength, we'll gather more strength. We'll need more collectivity, we'll gather more unity. That's it. But our progress is undictated. She'll has to go on. So we shall meet again with some other thought. If we go on speaking, as I'll go on speaking all night. So we shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.